Hello, Facebook Live. Hello, 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 Instagram. Hello, YouTube. Hello, everybody. Marcus here. It is Monday, late afternoon, 3:30. I've been trying to do a Facebook Live here all day. I've just been like insanely busy. It's been a crazy Monday. You know, one of those days at work where it's just like, wow. Well, that was today for me. We had a super busy weekend here this weekend, and we were short-staffed in the kitchen. Unfortunately, somebody had a family member, or not a family member, but somebody had a death of the immediate within the immediate friend circle. So I was in the kitchen all weekend anyway. We catered, and I was in there all day yesterday, cooking. And then Monday was just, I've been sitting right here since 7:15 this morning. It's 3:40 right now. 7:15. I've barely moved. I've been drinking water, had a couple of slices of pineapple, and that's it. Working on a couple of huge projects today. But if you're a wine drinker, you're gonna love the project that I've been working on. Really love it because there's some new prices on our wine list, our new wine list, which is getting ready to get launched. Before I talk about that, it is Monday night. That means buy one, get one wings. Tonight, Monday night, 647-3000. You can get hot or barbecue, but they're always smoked. So we smoke the wings first. We dredge them with some of our barbecue spice. We dredge them, smoke them, and then we flash fry them in a little sunflower oil, local sunflower oil, that crisps them up. And that tonight, buy one, get one. So buy one or get one for takeout only. We improved our wings the last maybe 8 weeks ago. We improved our wings. We made them larger, and we switched from a natural producer, hormone-free, antibiotic-free, vegetarian-fed producer, to a certified organic local farm, which is really exciting. So they're all local now, our wings. We were able to get a good price because of COVID, or get a price that we could live with, and be able to upgrade. So certain things during COVID dropped in price, and certain things raised in price, just because of supply and demand. Obviously, toilet paper were one of those things that increased, rubbing alcohol increased, things like that. But sometimes some of the higher end stuff that wasn't moving when restaurants really weren't open, like lobster prices dropped pretty nicely this year. They had a resurgent once restaurants started opening again, but for a while there, lobster prices had dropped. So certain things, obviously, make sense. Higher end things, just people weren't just buying those things, so the prices were dropping. Some of our distributors lowered prices of wine a little bit here and there, or they gave you better deals for buying more wine, which is nice. Let's see. So Thanksgiving. I wanted to mention Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, we are going to be open for takeout only. It's going to be a traditional turkey, and then it's going to traditional turkey with all the fixings. We'll also have an option for vegetarian turkey, so something like a tofurkey, like we always do. And we'll have a few menu specials or other menu items that we will be doing, and we're picking up between 11 and 2 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day. I think since we've opened 18 years ago, we've been open on Thanksgiving Day for dine-in, so this is going to be a little different for Jamie and I this year. We're going to actually be able to sit down with family members and enjoy our Thanksgiving with family. So we're really excited about that. So takeout, I've not put a price on it yet. Last year, if you came in and ate Thanksgiving here, it was like $35 a person. But of course, a lot less staff is needed to be able to produce Thanksgiving now here. So that price will come down because we don't have to pay wait staff and things like that. So everything is relative. So we'll be able to, I'm not sure the price yet. I just have to crunch some numbers for that. Christmas Day is our soup kitchen that we do every year. Christmas Day is our soup kitchen. We're trying to figure out how we can maximize this year, keep people safe, because it's run on all volunteers. So we're trying to figure out how we can adjust and modify Christmas Day soup kitchen this year. So stay tuned if you want to help volunteer and help us out with that. Now, on to the wine list. So most of you know that Jamie and I just love wine. We love good beer. We love good spirits. But the bar is a really main focal point of the restaurant, of Aroma Time. And in the last few years, we've really focused on only buying wines that come from wineries that we visited. Because those are the easiest wines to sell. And I can tell a story about the winery, the winemaker, our visit there. It's so easy to be able to convey value in that bottle and sell that bottle. So it's very easy. So I would say probably 90% of our wines on our menu right now, maybe even more than 90%, are actually wines that Jamie and I have actually personally been to the winery. Like personally been physically to the winery. So really, really cool stuff. But if you remember what our wine book used to look like, and I think I have one here. We used to have this pre-COVID, we had a binder that we used to bring to your table. I have this binder here, and it's literally like 30 pages, this binder. There's a ton of pages in here. It's shared between whiskey and bourbons and all kinds of other stuff is in here as well, and beers take up a section of it. So yeah, so let's see, 36 pages. 36 pages. Only half of those are wine, so 18 pages are wine, sectioned out, categorized really nicely. What I've done recently is we have not been handing this book out. We've been selling some of the wines in here, running out of them, not reordering them, shrinking our menu down. And when you come to the restaurant, you used to get like a one-page wine list, one page, whites and reds on here. I would move things over slowly, sell out, move things over slowly and sell out and sort of consolidate. Although we've been buying tons and tons of wine this year. So what I've done now is I've consolidated those 18 pages of wines into a 3-page list. White, 1 white page and 2 red pages. And this is one of my big projects today. So the red pages and the white pages and the white page. And here's the good news. I lowered the price on probably 8 out of 10 wines. At least 7 out of 10 wines that I transferred from this book to this 3-page, I lowered the price. I lowered the price because we're operating more efficiently now, especially when it comes to wine buying. How the wine world works in a lot of instances. If I want to buy 1 bottle of wine from a distributor, let's say let me just grab a bottle so we can play along here. So for example, if I go to my distributor and say, hey, you know what, I only need 1 bottle of this wine this week, I need 1 bottle of that wine, maybe 2 bottles of that wine, they're gonna charge me $12 a bottle, for example, plus a split charge. So every time they open a cage and pull a bottle out, it's a split charge. Some distributors will charge us restaurant owners and shops $2 a bottle to split it. So $12 a bottle is per bottle, 144 for the case. But if I want only 3 bottles, because again, if I'm stocking 200 wines, I have a book that's 18 pages, I'm not gonna buy a case of everything. It's too much for me to sit on. I'll never turn inventory and I'll go broke and I won't be able to pay my bills. And then when you need to pay bills, drinking doesn't help. So, $12 a bottle, split charge to open the case, $2 a bottle. So I'm up to $14 a bottle for this, right? $14. Now this is just a bottle I'm grabbing. It's not the real numbers on this. I'm just giving an example. So, $14 a bottle. Now I have to sell that bottle for high 30s, right? I have to sell it for high 30s to make a margin. Now, if I buy the whole case, there's no split charge, so it's $12, so I save $2 a bottle. If I buy 3 cases, I might be able to get it for $10 a bottle. If I buy 5 cases, it might come down to as low as $8 a bottle, right? So at $8 a bottle compared to $14 a bottle, I don't need to charge $39 for it anymore. I can charge $29 for it. So because we're selling a lot of wine to go, and because we shortened the list down, we're able to, our buying power is stronger. So we're able to buy things on bigger discounts. We're able to stock deeper quantities of things and get better price breaking. So when I priced out this new list, I priced it out on my replacement costs, not of what I paid for it. So for example, if this bottle of wine, and I bought 3 bottles at $14 and I'm selling it for $39, now all of a sudden I'm going to buy 5 cases next time and get it for $8. I priced the list here, not what I paid for it 6 months ago, but I priced it for what I will pay for 5 cases. So that's how I did that. I priced it on my replacement cost. So there were a few things I raised the prices on. So if anybody wants to get technical with me, yes, there were a couple wines I did. We have some amazing Barolos from 2006, 2008, 2010, 2009. There's some Barolos that are just drinking magnificently right now that I have not raised the price on in several years. They're collector's items, a few other things, some Brunellos, some older stuff, 1999 Brunello. There's some things that are sitting on the list at like $109 that were a total bargain. That were a total bargain. Somebody's asking for them an email. I'm actually going to post this on the website, and I can't send it an email. Why don't I'll make an email this week with our new wine prices and send that out. So, like 1999 La Magia for $109. It was like, whoa, like it's just such a great deal. But the really, really high-end wines, like the Runrig Torbreck that was $450, I bumped it down $75. There were some other big ones that were on the list for literally like $250 or $299. I actually brought those down $50 a bottle. I would like to sell those. And some of those are 2005 Burgundies, which will last 30, 40, 50 years. That wine will not go bad in the lifetime of this restaurant. So those wines are on the list, and I would love to move those and keep the cash flow going here. So if anybody is out on the opposite end, the high-end stuff, there's some really good deals as well. So basically what I did was, when you look at the price list now, if the wine was 37, I dropped it to 29. If it was 48, I dropped it to 39. So wines on our list are now are $19, 29, 39, 49, 59. Everything ends in 9. So at the end of that, so 79, 89, 99, 109. So an example, if a wine was $97, it automatically got dropped to 89. And I kind of looked at it and see what my purchasing power was. And sometimes I drop it an extra $10. So there's really, really some awesome, amazing deals. I'm super excited because if I went out to a restaurant and I saw some of the wines on this list, on a list like this for $49, I'd be like, this is amazing. And part of what prompted this was, we were out a few weeks ago with friends, and we went out to a restaurant, and this is one of the reasons that prompted it, because we've been lowering our prices anyway on things across the board. But this one really was like, you know what? I really need to tighten up the wine list and really jump into this and really make sure that our wines are delivering a great value. We lowered all the prices on our food, and people are like, oh my gosh, your food is amazing and the price is amazing. I've heard the restaurant owners telling me, I don't know how you're doing it for so cheap. You need to raise your prices and this and that. I said, I'm okay for now. Right now, I'm okay. This is why I did a Facebook Live a few weeks ago about would you be mad if there was not a surcharge, but a discount or a different pricing for credit card versus cash. I can give a discount legally. It's just like how you would at the gas station. Because we pay $23,000 a year in credit card transaction swipes, transaction action expenses. Things add up. So we're just really, Jamie and I are being very, very, very conscious this year, more conscious than any year prior of where every dollar's going. If we don't need something, we cancel it. Just because when COVID happened, we had no idea we'd be here. We only had, for our mind, it was only one option. You go forward and you make the best of it, as opposed to closing and figuring and trying to reopen later. So we just said that we're going all in. So we were at a restaurant with some friends, and the wine prices were more expensive than my wine prices. And I was like, and they only had like 6 wines on the list, like 6 reds and 6 whites, and some stuff was local. And we weren't really paying attention to the prices, but when the bill came, I looked at the wine list, I'm like, that wine was like $12 and we paid $47 for it on the list. And I know they're buying the deepest discount, so if you only have 6 wines on your list, you can go to the distributor and buy the deepest possible discount. Again, 200 wines on a list, I'm not buying 10 cases of every single one in this list, because this is left be literally $250,000 or more in inventory, and I couldn't float that. At one point, Jamie and I, every single month had $46,000 to $49,000 in inventory in this book right here. That's a lot of money when you have to pay bills in the wintertime. That's a lot of salaries. That's a lot of staff. So this book used to cost me, to put this on the table, behind this book of all the offerings when it was at its peak, at its maximum point last year, the year before, was almost $50,000 of inventory. And that was with me buying 3 bottles of this, 3 bottles of that. We buy a house wine, we buy 5 or 10 cases. But when you look around at the bar and you see everything at the bar, and you buy all this stuff, it adds up drastically and quickly. And then your collectible wines, the Burgundies, the Barolos, the Brunellos, the California Cabernets that you're aging, all that makes a significant impact on your finances. So super, super excited about this. We will email this list out. That was a good idea that Anthony had. I'm going to send that list out I just want to check these prices with a couple of my friends, maybe some salespeople and some other restaurant owners, and just get their feedback. But I'm pretty confident that this is probably some of the best restaurant wine pricing out there for the quality of wines. Again, it's easy for me to call the distributor, super easy to call a distributor and say, hey, I want a $3 bottle of wine. I want to sell it for $7 a glass, and I want to sell it for $25 a bottle. A $4 bottle, there's those bottles so exist out there, and they're all over the place. But those aren't real wineries. Those are brands that are made up, that they outsource their grapes, like Yellowtail. They outsource their grapes to whoever, the production, and then it's not a real product from a real family, from a real business. It's just a label, right? It's just a contracted label. And there's tons and tons of those wines out there, and a lot of restaurants really make their money on those wines. We haven't used those type of wines in years upon years. But literally there's wines out there. I tasted wines last week from a distributor that I said, hey, I want to get a couple more wines on my list that are in the $19 range, $19 on my list. It's going to be impossible to get from the vineyards that we've been to, just because all the vineyards we've been to, they're a lot of it's artisanally produced wines, smaller batches, the real deal. So this salesperson showed up with like 6 wines, and they were literally like $3.13 a bottle, $3.80 a bottle, $4.10 a bottle. They were literally $4.25 and under for these 6 wines that the sales rep showed me. And I'm drinking these wines, I'm tasting them. I'm like, I looked at Jamie, I'm like, I don't want to buy anything here. Like if there was something that really popped out, but nothing at that price point is even good at that price point, especially when you can walk in and buy this for $29 on our list. Why would you want to spend $10 less and get a wine that's just not good? This is head and shoulders over all of those at $10 more on our list. So Jamie and I decided collectively that, hey, we got our $19.99 wine here, $19 wine here. It's a good Spanish wine we've been serving for a while, and we have our one Chardonnay from France. And those 2 are really, really great wines for $9.99 to go and $19 in house. They're really good deals. And I was thinking I could duplicate that again. So Jamie and I sort of went on a tasting spree with sales reps, and it's not possible. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to go down to that level of non-quality. I don't want to stoop down to that level, so we're not going to. And in the meantime, while we can still keep getting that Tempranillo from our one distributor, we'll still keep getting. He told me when the next batch comes in, he won't be able to do that. We took advantage of that at a special price because of COVID. So certain distributors wanted to sell things. They posted new pricing, and we took advantage of some really good deals, which is why we have a $9.99 wine to go and a $19.99 wine. But I still have other wines here that are $12.99 to go, $11.99 to go, that are really awesome. If you want to take a wine to go, you can. The way things went down after COVID was the governor passed, the liquor authority passed this thing where we can sell off premise now. So I can sell to you wines here in the restaurant to consume, and I can also, any of our wines that we have in stock, you can take home to go. So we charge about a $10 to $15 corkage fee. So if you walk in and say, oh my gosh, look at this Guiliano, it's $14.99 to go, right? It's $14.99 to go. You're going to pay $29 in house here. It's a $15 corkage fee. Some of them are as little as a $10 corkage fee, and some are $15. And that's our $9.99 white, and that's our $9.99 red to go, $19 in house. This is brand new Montenedoli from Tuscany. We got a white and a red from this producer. So that's the story. So I have a feeling, I know that I'm super, super happy with all what's happened with our wine lists. And I'm going to create one more page next week, or by the end of this week, that's going to have all of our bottled beers, our canned beers. We have an insane amount of beer that is barrel-aged, bourbon barrel-aged, whiskey barrel-aged, all kinds of stuff, beer that can age 10, 15 years. I'm going to go through there, and I'm going to start hopefully redoing the prices on some of those too. We're not going to really focus on those type of beers that much anymore, but we have a vast array of barrel-aged beers that are super awesome. Vintage beers that go back to 2005, 4, 2009, 2010, 2012. Some are in big corked bottles, some are in small bottles, and we're going to put together a one-page list for that and tidy that list up and maybe lower a couple prices there if we can. So that's the situation with that. The holidays are coming. We'll be doing our holiday gift card sale very, very soon. Not very soon, but it's going to be here before we know it, another month. So we'll be doing like a Cyber Monday, Black Friday. We'll be doing a big sale like that. So stay tuned for that gift card sale. We'll also be doing gift baskets, food and booze baskets, food and wine, things like that, with all of the cool ingredients we have here. Jamie and I is going to start doing some gift baskets. So we'll do like bourbons together. You have to buy food though. So as long as we're complying with the state liquor authority, we have to sell you some kind of substantial food if you go in. This is how every restaurant works. If you buy some type of booze to go, whether it's a beer, a pint of beer, a can of beer, a case of beer, a glass of wine, a bottle of wine, a case of wine, I can literally send you out with 30 margaritas if you buy like one pizza. If you buy an order of wings, it has to be something substantial. But there is no limitation on how much alcohol you can take out now with you as far as when it comes to that. So we will be having gift baskets and sales and things like that, so stay tuned for that. I just sent the email out today if you're on our email list for the wings tonight. Buy one, get one wings. I've been getting a couple emails here and there from people that are saying, I can't believe you're planning a trip to Italy. Don't you know what's going on? Of course, Jamie and I know what's going on. But it takes to do a trip to Italy, it takes a year in advance in planning. A year in advance. So it's not something like we woke up on Monday morning and said, hey, let's start going in April and start planning a trip. It's not like that. That trip that's this April was planned pre-COVID. We have people that are paid for it. We have people that are paid in full for it. We have people that are literally like, I cannot wait to go. Are we really going to go? Let's go, let's go, let's go. That's why we're sending these emails out and talking about Italy trips. If it's not safe to go, we won't go. It's as simple as that. All of the dates that we have now for Italy, all of the trips, we have 4, 5, 6 trips planned. Some of them are 2 years out, and we have people that have interest in 2 years out. All of the ones within the next year have alternative dates with them. So we're being very optimistic. A lot of people in the travel industry, the professionals are being very optimistic, but we understand that there is a danger and we understand the ramifications, but it takes a year in advance to do these trips. So we have to be optimistic and but we've also properly planned to push the trips off if necessary. So a couple people have said something, I don't believe you're planning trips, and we even got an email the other day. I like you guys, but what are you really, what are you really trying to do by promoting something that's not possible? So again, they were all planned pre-COVID. So and a lot goes into planning, like a lot. To be able to take 24 people for 9 full days from this hotel, that hotel, this meal, that meal, get the busing transfers, pick up at the airport, plan everything. Doesn't just take a few days to plan it. It takes months upon months of planning. It's an ongoing process. Even if you've done the trip once, the same route, it's still lots and lots of work. It's not something that, we just decide to do and rock and roll with it. No, it takes a lot. And ours take even extra work because everything's built upon relationships of the wineries that we know, the very, very specific places that we want to visit. So that's the situation with that, folks. We understand that there is COVID. We understand what's happening. So, although, on the other hand, one of my travel professionals, a friend of ours, sent us something the other day that said, hey, here's an article about travel and how safe planes are, and here's this stuff. And it was a great article. I'm not going to share it yet, but it was a great article saying, hey, people in planes are tested and things like that, and it's actually not as bad or not nearly as bad as a plane if you're properly masked and stuff like that. So it was an interesting article that came out there. I forgot what university who actually did it, but it was NPR had it on, and the person was actually just waiting for it to, I guess, get another round of criticism or whatever before he was actually posting it as well, because this is a promising article, Marcus. All right, I think Jamie's coming on to do a live today, are you? Oh, it's 4 o'clock. I don't want to take up her time. I don't know what time she's doing her live. I'm going to go for my run now. And everybody have an amazing day. Catch Jamie here very soon for her Facebook Live, her happy hour. And wing night tonight. Buy one, get one, orders to go. Talk to everybody later.